Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am recording a message today that feels very much relevant in the current energies. If you have noticed, the energies have been extremely heavy. At the time of recording this, Venus just came direct. It has been in a retrograde, and I think that it came out of its own retrograde precisely at the full moon in Libra. I am not very good at astrology, so correct me if you will. Either way, with the retrograde of Venus and the full moon, what I have noticed in myself and what has been shown to me, a lot of us, whether you're the divine feminine or the divine masculine, watching this or listening to it, more likely, you have probably felt heavy emotions, low vibrational emotions, and I felt that it was important for me to come on here and tell you, to whoever is receiving this message, to whomever is listening to this recording, that the energies, the wounds that came up for healing and introspection really has been ones that have been buried extremely deep within the group consciousness, so like the collective consciousness. And if you're listening to it, you are also a light being, light worker, starseed, a healer, whatever label you use to categorize yourself, if you're even doing it, it doesn't really matter. You have been feeling this really heavy energy, and it's possible that the way you react to this really heavy energy, it's possible that your reaction is the kind of reaction that maybe your usual high vibrational self wouldn't necessarily have, because of how far you have come already. It doesn't, like, we're never ever done on this journey, but it's about how high up we raise our vibration, so how high up we come, because the higher we get, the easier it is to deal with these things. So I found myself I'm hearing unhinged. Well, this is kind of how I felt. The pain that came out, the abandonment, the betrayal, like the worst kind, the resentment, the anger, the bitterness, it's really like nothing that I had to deal with ever before. These things I did have to heal on my own personal journey, and I know that I have been clearing that for the collective as well, because that is part of my soul mission. But the level of it, like how deep it went, it feels like this very deep, very big chasm of a void. It's like a big hole that no matter what I have tried to do, and like no matter how much healing I have done on my journey already, or the fact that I have healed a lot of it already, so that it's no longer like that big of an issue, if you will. Like my reaction was absolutely outrageous to all of it, because it was not the way I would normally react to something that is triggering me, that I am yet to release. And what has been shown to me was that this really heavy energy, it is nothing personal. That's what I'm hearing right now. It's not, well, obviously it's personal because each one of us are experiencing it. We're going through it. We're healing it. We're feeling it. But it's not necessarily about our individual journeys. It's more of a collective hearing. And it's been shown to me that this activation, this healing is huge. It's extremely important. And we are kind of paving the way for others to follow. And others will follow. They will join. And it's going to be very intense for them as well, but it's just kind of just very intense for us. And the collective wound that we are going through right now is, I do believe it has to do with the collective divine feminine and the divine feminine wounding, which is abandonment, it's not being chosen, it's being overlooked, it's being not validated in any way. It's just, let's say, people have not seen the divine feminine. Like, that's the kind of way that I can explain it to. And I do believe, and there's something that I have found from a pair of very beautiful souls that I actually follow, that have written something very beautiful, that everything that we are going through currently, again, if you're listening to it about the time that I'm uploading it, it's very, very relevant for you. If you're listening to this voice recording at any point in time further on, then just remove the part when I talk about that specific timeline, that this is just after the retrograde. Venus is stationed direct now. It's right after a new moon. No, sorry, it's right after a full moon. We're in April 2025. So if that part doesn't resonate for you, if it's not when you're listening to it, whatever, there's another part of this message that is important to you. But all of this pain, all of these wounds that come up, it's still the divine feminine, the collective divine feminine, the feminine energy, the feminine wounding that we carry, not just us divine feminines, because our divine masculines and divine masculines, awakened people, there's always a balance of the polarities within each one of us. So each divine masculine has a divine feminine polarity within them. And so that's why I'm saying that, no matter who you are, how you would identify, it's very heavy, and it's almost like the collective divine feminine polarity within us is still waiting to be acknowledged. We're waiting to be seen, to be heard, and to be held. We have been talking about how the divine feminine has been repressed and absolutely wounded and ignored and overlooked and pushed to a point where the feminine had to turn very much masculine or embody her masculine polarity because of how repressed the feminine has been. And as much as let me just put it this way, like, they usually, whenever something comes up for each one of us to clear and to heal, it is enough to kind of understand it. So see the pattern, like recognize the pattern, see where it comes from, try to look at it from a different perspective and release it, to let it go. Yes. And whichever way you're doing it is the right way for you, but it's not enough for what is currently happening energetically. There's a lot of happening, and just as it's said in divine counterpart connections, it's very important that we hold space for our divine counterpart, because they have their own journey, their own lessons, their own karmic debt to pay. It's in the same way, I believe, we are to hold space for the divine feminine collective, or the divine feminine, or the feminine polarities wounding that we all carry. Our divine masculine polarity, so our masculine polarity within us is the doer. So we are like, when we embody that energy, we are the fixers, the doers. Let's go find a solution. I am personally, as a person, very much solution oriented. I strive to find solutions for everything, because as many of the divine feminists, like, my life's path has been the way it has been, and that's just how I had to become, and that's how I am. And yes, a big part of it has been for me learning to take a step back and relax into my feminine energy. But I believe we're kind of guided to, and from the messages that I receive from the higher beings that are sent to me, we are to kind of let it be. Just be and exist in this heavy energy. And it kind of goes against, let's say, maybe what we believe when we are on a spiritual journey, because we do understand that unless we face the things that we are going through, that are sitting within us or that are coming up, we will not get anywhere, because we will just continue repeating a certain pattern. And it's not that we're not to do that, we are meant to continue doing that, but we're not meant to fix it. We're not meant to try to work as fast as I can, as you guys can, through, and me of course. So we are not supposed to work through this energy as fast as we possibly can to kind of release it and be done with it. It's just listen, just be present. It's almost like it's very crucial for each one of us to really embody the feminine polarity within us. And as much as life would, the illusion of the 3D, so let's say the human earthly life, is trying to push us into action. It's kind of like, oh, you have to be doing things all the time. There's this next thing, there's to-do list, there's work to be done. No, well, yeah, I mean, obviously you need to be able to do all of these things, and there are certain obligations you should not be skipping on, of course, but use your discernment. But it's more of like, just be present with yourself and recognize that you are most maybe let's say most importantly, a vessel You are a vessel of a divine light. You're a vessel of unconditional love. And now, if you're listening to it about the time where we all are going through and this heavy energy is hitting us, right now you are meant to be a vessel, to be present with this energy, to acknowledge it, to recognize that this is a huge part of who we all are. I'm not going to get into this discussion right now, but I guess I was going to say that most of us are kind of aware of it, but if you're not, that's okay too. But when each one of us, so when each one of you two are releasing and healing things within you, you're also healing yourself from the past. You're healing your ancestors, your bloodline, and so on and so forth, because time is meaningless. Time doesn't exist. Not in that way. It's just easy for us humans to kind of compute our reality, which is, again, meaningless. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really work the way that we believe it to either, but again, it doesn't really matter. So yes, we are to acknowledge it, that for so many years, I don't know, thousands, millions, we have been really suppressing that part of us. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean like, oh yeah, let's go back to the times when we lived in caves and so on, and like hit each other on the head with some sort of sticks. I'm just saying that for a very long time, both the divine feminine collective, so the feminine polarity, has been carrying wounds, just as the masculine polarity has been carrying their own wounds, and we do too, because there's always a balance of polarities in each one of us. It's just that what is coming right now is the feminine wounding, because the Venus retrograde, again, I'm not an astrologer, and take whatever I say when it comes to astrology with a grain of salt, because I kind of just use it to emphasize what I'm trying to say. Venus retrograde, apparently it's stripping all of our connections and our own emotions bare from all of the illusions that we have either brainwashed ourselves to believe in, or like if there's something that we haven't been aware of, all of that illusion is being stripped away. And what that did, together with the full moon, was expose raw beating wound that we have been carrying on for such a long time. And I will say, and maybe it's like this for you, I'm going to share this here because I do hope that I'm going to help somebody. If you recognize yourself or whatever you're going through with what I'm saying, you're seen. I want you to know that and feel safe with that. But this energy hits me very hard. I consider myself absolutely like a high level of, I don't know, that I live authentically, and that I embody a very high vibration. Obviously, I'm not done healing either, but the way that these energies, these really heavy emotions, it's almost like it's deconstructing absolutely everything that I have built within me. It's not that it destroys me, nothing. It's not that either of us, or either me or you that are listening to this message, it's not that we are going back. It's not that we have not healed. It's not that we have done something wrong. It's just that it's so heavy that we all are working collectively to transmute that, to acknowledge it, and to just be present. It's almost like we're being asked to give our feminine polarity a very big, long hug and just shut the hell up. It's not about fixing it. It's not about finding solutions. It's not about like trying to get this over with and jumping into the next thing, or trying to move forward, because you will not be allowed to move forward. You are going to be forced to sit in this energy. There probably will be lessons from it, but for now, the whole point is to really acknowledge it and to really take a look at what has been exposed within you. And even if you already know that the things that have been exposed by this let's say planetary alignment, or these energies, or just the timeline that we're in, that you have already healed and moved past it, then acknowledge it for the collective. It's like we're all doing it together for all of us. And so just honor that, honor yourself, do what you need to do, however these things come up for you, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, like no matter what it is, just be present with yourself, be extremely kind to yourself. And if you, well, yeah, you're going to be, I was going to say, if you're connected with your divine counterpart, obviously you are, but whether you are in contact with your divine counterpart or not, and even other people, please just be mindful about what you allow to come out of yourself if you're interacting with really anybody. But I did mention the divine counterpart specifically because if you're listening to it, then you are a part of my collective, and I am on the twin soul journey, and there's still integration happening for me, and I'm very close to reunion. You probably are too. Maybe you have already reunited, but there's like things are happening on each and like on our individual level, but then also on collective level. And so just be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I would say it is and has been very difficult for me to not allow the very heavy energy to influence the way I think or speak or kind of what I feel. And each time I get like a breather, each time it kind of passes before it comes back again, it's almost like I'm astonished at how different I feel when that heavy energy is present and when it's not. And I know that on my own personal journey, I am above this already, so it's not like, I know I have not gone backwards, even though it feels like it when it hits. And that's why I also wanted to come in here and tell you guys that please do not worry, you're not going backwards. It's just we're in age of Aquarius. I am an Aquarius myself. Hello, fellow Aquarians. I love you guys. But you understand just how big of a shift is really happening everywhere. And even if you're not into astrology, I'm not really, just kind of using it to again just make sure that you guys kind of understand what I'm talking about. Of course you do. But it's just a lot. It's a lot. And so give yourself love and take care of yourself, and as much as it's possible, really kind of, I don't know, if I could give you an advice, maybe take a pause before you respond. Do not react. Absolutely do not react, because that's just that's just not good. You're not gonna feel good afterwards, and whoever you're reacting to is not gonna feel good about it either. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I am sending you a lot of love and light. I pray to God that the message is gonna be sent to every single one of you that needs to hear it. And please do take care of yourself. And I will talk to you another time. Bye.